I got that off black Cadillac midnight drive. Got that gas pedal leaning back, taking my time. Well, that, of course, is a band whose name sounds like a fishing supply company, Macklemore. And if it's what the limousine driver was aggressively singing to himself while checking his Blackberry and careening around the endless ramps of LaGuardia, then this must be Dale Radio. And I, of course, am your host, Dale Seaver, and you're listening to another episode of Some Things I Enjoy, coming to you, as always, from the foul banks of the Gowanus. And we've got another terrific show for you with this one. I'm in Manhattan. It's snowing. And we've got a very special guest who is sure to warm your ears this holiday season. But first, let me tell you that this episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Thousands of audiobooks are available at the touch of a button. And if you have the need for buttons on your computer screen, then you're probably someone who enjoys having books read to you. Go to audibletrial.com/Dale Radio. You get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial. If you do that, we get a little, I think the term is kickback. I think that's what they call it. From the folks who run this site, everybody comes out on top. No harm, no foul. So check it out, won't you? Okay, folks, my guest today, and we're sitting in a little hot basement. My whole career is basements. You play a lot of basements, do you?
Yes, I have.
That's where it happens. Well, he's a rising star in the music world. He's a singer-songwriter who has earned accolades from coast to coast. Now, some say that he, along with Frank Ocean, Solange, the Weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so far, are bringing about a neo-soul revival. But we'll talk about that. Please welcome Jarell Perry. Jarell, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks.
It's good.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here.
I feel like there should be like a laugh track or like a class track. You know?
Oh, we let the people provide.
We'll do like the snaps or something.
That's right. Well, we're keeping warm down here. That's for sure.
Yeah, we are.
And but that's because it's snowing so much. You don't? Did you grow up with a lot of snow?
No, I grew up in California, Southern California.
That's Orange County.
Yeah, this is completely foreign to me.
Do you have any kind of experience with snow as a kid?
Only like a few limited experiences, but always in the mountains.
Yeah.
Where like that's where the snow stays for us. We never see it in the city.
That's right. You almost forget that there's mountains there, but sometimes when you're downtown, and it's a clear day, about this time of year maybe, you look up and you see the snow caps.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and you're reminded that Los Angeles is very close to mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done the mountain. I've seen the snow and then gone to the beach in the same day, just for the hell of it.
It's wild.
Yeah, the city and like I don't know. It's a little bit of a struggle, but I'm dealing with it.
It's kind of tranquil though, isn't it? It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
I noticed though today there must be that SantaCon thing happening.
Yeah, that
very
kind of
disturbing.
added to it. You know, it's
very disturbing.
The snow, like every other person. I feel uncomfortable that I'm not in a red suit today.
Well, that's how you wish you were part of it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm going to have to put up with is those yahoos on the subway. Because they go and do whatever they do, congregate, and then they drink.
Yeah.
And then it's just a nightmare.
And then they drink.
Then the subways are just a nightmare.
Some more.
And then some more.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that a little bit. So you get Beyonce's album. She surprised everybody.
Yeah, that was crazy. It kind of screwed up my whole press tour really.
Oh, did it?
You know, the world just stops.
Right.
For Beyonce, but
for Miss Bay.
Yeah, for the Queen, right? But the Queen will do what the Queen does, and I'm not mad at it.
We're just in her world. No, good. I don't think. Well, please don't be mad at her.
Yeah.
Not on this program. Yeah. I need all the support I can get. And do you think everything's going to be a visual album now?
Everything. I think I'm pretty sure that in the future everything will be visual because you can see like people don't even when you're looking for music, you go on YouTube. You want to see what it looks like. You want to feel it. You want to touch it.
Yeah.
And so I mean, not everybody has the budget to put together an entire visual album. Like Beyonce can. But sure, yeah.
Are you gonna rethink your next one?
I'm doing what I do. And
absolutely.
To be honest, like we're already like putting together a lot of visuals. We're ready to drop. We've already finished 3 for the next project that we're about to drop. So yeah, like we're already on that game.
Are you a visual person generally?
Yeah, really, really visual. So, I take a lot of inspiration from like art, and I think it all comes together. When you listen to something, you're usually visual. You're not just looking at black. You know what I mean? You're visualizing something. You know, people always go like, oh, you know, I thought the video was gonna look like this, or like,
Because you picture the song in your head.
yeah, or people will walk up to me and be like, oh, I totally pictured that you were gonna be running in a treadmill like in this video, and it happened, you know. And, so yeah,
That's
of
how I
course.
am too. I listen to a lot of story songs where people tell the story, and the song. I guess all songs are to a certain extent, but
Right.
there is a genre of, people that tell stories, and I'm always picturing a pretty wild scene in my head, and sometimes I am disappointed when it's just a girl on a wrecking ball or something. I think, well, that's not what that was about.
Exactly.
Not in my head. So everything's been going good with the concerts. You did your first. This is your first time performing in New York.
First time performing in New York.
Man, that's gotta feel great.
Yeah, it was awesome. We were at Joe's Pub, packed house, and I loved New York. Like, and you know, the crowd was excellent.
And it lived up to your expectations.
Yeah, it up to them and then exceeded them. You know what I mean? We had a really, really dope time, and I can't wait to come back. People are asking already.
I bet they are.
When are we coming back? So hopefully, really soon.
I bet. And you spent much time in New York?
Yeah. I mean, through my lifetime, like, I've been here maybe like 3 or 4 times, and usually I spend time down there in East Village. I had a lot of friends. Like, all my friends left me from the West Coast. Came
we give
here.
a lot out there, so
Yeah,
it's a good exchange.
It's a whole exchange program, the grass is greener syndrome.
Right.
So yeah, like, I spent a lot of time in East Village,
Or just grass.
Yeah, grass.
There is grass.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's brown part of the year,
Right.
it still comes back, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah. But I've never been here like during like this time with the snow, so it's a completely different experience. One time I was here, it was Hurricane Irene.
Ooh.
And I remember like rushing from the subway before it shut down and
Yeah.
grabbing as much, pizza and bagels and beer.
And just putting them in your
Yeah.
your cooler.
Yeah, to tide me over. So yeah,
So you kind of bring this bad weather with you.
Yeah, we like to screw things up. We come shake it up.
Well, I tell you, I've been listening to almost nothing but your music these past few days, and in all honesty, I'd like to make out with something.
With something?
Yeah, maybe a chair.
Just something, anything.
I saw an empty coffee cup that looked pretty good.
Okay.
Now, do you ever make out to your own music?
On occasion, it's not like I just turn on the album, but if there's a shuffle,
It might
sometimes it comes on.
You'd be sure to include it in the shuffle.
And then it just makes the experience more sweet.
You got to time it. You do early in the experience, or is that like
you want to kind of roll into. You want it to be you don't want it to be too deliberate.
Right.
Too obvious, right? You're just
Right.
like, oh shit, I didn't know.
6th or 7th in the rotation?
Yeah, exactly. You got this. You clearly you've done this before.
I put my podcast on.
Yeah, with that poor coffee cup.
I got a nice coffee cup over at the house. Oh, yeah. We'll listen to my podcast. That's a full evening for me.
Right.
So now you've been labeled an alternative R&B artist. And I know that probably, like most of us, we're not interested in labels.
Right.
Whatever that helps you on your end, fine. But I wanted to understand what they mean when they say, whoever they is, buy an alternative. Because I remember a few years back, you go to a record store. That's years back.
What's that? What's a record store?
Those were discs that used to contain, the cylinders.
What is a record?
You could hear old Thomas Alva Edison talking to us. No, so you go into like a Sam Goodies or something, and there'd be an alternative section, and there'd be a lot of earnest-looking people in flannel and wool caps kind of staring at you behind angry fonts. Now, that's not what you're talking about.
Not necessarily. But hey, you never know.
But what does it mean to be an alternative R&B?
I mean, if you look at the definition of alternative, it's just whatever is, like not necessarily the mainstream or whatever, right? So I think in R&B, and especially being a black male artist, there's definitely boxes that people want to put you in. Yeah. Whoever those people are, whoever they are, right? And that's just not for me, like, even though I have an R&B voice and I come up, in that tradition, in that lane, my influences have, spanned everything, from electronic stuff, or to indie rock, just everything, so when we throw all that together, but it's also R&B, they have to call it alternative,
Right, because it doesn't fit into this preconceived idea.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit in.
prepackaged.
But as long as we stay progressive and we stay experimental, that's all I care about. You can call it whatever you want.
Sure, and what you're doing is what really that's where things are moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's away from these kind of big silos or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
No, we don't have time for that.
For
Me,
those silos.
I have no time
No
for that.
time. You got a coffee cup.
I
You
got
gotta
lots of
deal
things
with.
to do. Not just the coffee.
coffee
I got
cup at
other
home.
interests. But that is treasured for me. Now, you know what I like in R&B? And I'm not sure that you're using enough of it.
What?
Chimes.
Chimes.
Yeah.
Like what? So what kind of chimes?
Like Mary
The
J.
wind-
uses a lot of
wind
the chimes.
chimes.
There's like, you just
Okay,
say,
yeah, yeah,
Roberta
yeah.
Flack, Donny Hathaway, a lot of chimes in there.
Yeah,
Stuff.
Babyface.
Yeah,
also.
he puts a couple of those
You
in
know
there.
what? Yeah.
Think on it, will you?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do an all chimes album actually.
Hey, listen, you sold one already.
Yeah.
Pre-order on
That's in the
Amazon.
works, yeah.
That's why I got the
No,
polemic
at
out.
Sam Goody's.
Oh yeah, I'll head over to Sam Goody's. They still got that place?
Yeah,
That
I'm
used
sure
to
there's
scare
one.
me. You know, some things used to scare me there, like Judas Priest.
Oh yeah,
Fonts scared me.
there's a lot of that.
And then you listen to some of that music now and you think, what's the big idea?
Yeah, the font.
What's the
was-
problem?
Yeah, the font was.
Just
a lot
sounds like
scarier.
rock and roll, but
Yeah.
you listen to some of that stuff.
Yeah.
It was an angry, repellent font to me. That
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
kind of like
'Cause-
forged in metal.
Yeah, it just wasn't for everybody.
It wasn't for everybody.
Yeah.
You use nice fonts, don't you?
Yeah, nice, clean. It's inviting. I need as many people. I'm not trying to scare
That's right.
people
Don't put
away.
people off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get into your Ozzy Osbourne phase,
Yeah.
that can be, gosh, don't do that. Don't do that. So we talked about growing up down there in Orange County where everything's going on, isn't it? It's a big,
Oh yeah, it's just huge.
it's a happening place.
Really
Kind of
happening
a
in here.
conservative place, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we call it the orange curtain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, as soon as I could leave the house at 18, I crossed over the orange curtain and into Los Angeles to go to
just did
school, and I never looked back. And nothing against Orange County at all, but
It provided you with some experiences that made you who you are.
yeah, sure, and I wouldn't have anything to really compare.
He said, yeah.
Yeah. So, but Los Angeles, I feel as a place, like culturally, is a place that's always been really inspiring to me, and it kind of raised me. That's when I became like the person who I am right now. So
There's so much there.
yeah.
And you were involved in the church down there too?
Yeah,
In Orange
yeah.
County,
in
growing
Orange
up?
County. Yeah, I grew up in church, singing in church choirs. Like the first time I got into a studio was actually singing on an album, for the church. It was like a Christmas album, actually. And so...
What would you have a solo? You probably had many solos.
Yeah, I had a lot of
You
solos.
have an angelic voice.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
But so
Sometimes that's hard for one man to say to another, but it's true.
it's cool,
It's cool, right? Because
Yeah.
we're not about labels.
Not about labels, as long as we have the coffee cups,
Oh, you
At
keep
home.
bringing it back.
it'll be cool. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's how I came up. But then at the same time, like I was hanging out with all these different kids who were listening to all different types of stuff. So we'd go to like some emo rock shows, or I'd be listening to the Postal Service or like Coldplay or something random, and that all kind of carried over to my writing and my experience with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see that there's some of those influences in the music. And when you're at UCLA, what were you studying there?
I studied. I double majored in political science and communication
Pretty
studies.
good.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream to go into politics?
Not at all. Well, I mean, when I was in college, like I did the whole activist thing, but I know politics is. I mean, we already have to deal with so much politics in daily life, right?
This is
Especially
true.
in the music industry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not about carrying that over, but I will.
But you can be diplomatic.
I can. Yeah, absolutely. So not looking for a career in politics,
Right,
But
right.
but yeah, it was
But you have some
interesting to
skills
me.
and understanding of that.
Yeah, it was interesting to me, and like,
What was
helped
the
me.
whole activist thing? Sorry to interrupt you. What was the...
Oh yeah, like being at UCLA, and we were campaigning for a lot with diversity, or that's just one issue. Like I was like one of 25 maybe like black males admitted that were that weren't athletes.
Right.
So we were working on that, which they're still working on that.
Yeah.
And
Do you feel like it got better?
I feel like there's still a lot of work to do. I
Yeah.
feel like there's still a lot of work to do, but I'm proud of the tradition at UCLA, of of being at the forefront, you know, progressive movements and stuff like that. There's so much history that people don't even know about. So yeah, stuff like that, or you know, campaigning for like divestment from Darfur because when there was a genocide.
That was a big deal a few years ago.
Yeah, so I was, you know, part of that and all that. So, you know, I'll definitely plan on like revisiting that, you know, as I'm going through my process as an artist, and I have that platform to speak out. So, so yeah, it did a lot of things.
Well, I think that's good. That's a good, solid background to have in your line of work.
Right.
I mean, that should be a prerequisite for a lot
absolutely,
of people.
you know.
Because some people get up to the national level
And they have,
you know what I mean? It's a little bit.
The next thing you know, you're swinging on a wrecking ball.
For instance, yes. Yeah. But there's a few they don't know how to handle themselves or carry themselves up there. And some of us just wait till an advanced age to really make a break out.
Exactly.
And you said you'd gone down to the Hammer Museum.
Yeah. The Hammer Museum is a really dope place.
Great.
Yeah, like I was just there a couple of weeks ago to see this James Welling exhibit. Really awesome, like you know, photographs and stuff with light, you know, and like it goes back to the whole visual thing. Like that really inspires me. And when I'm looking for inspiration for music, like I often go to a museum and check something out and see what pops out to me. So yeah.
Well, Jim Welling's great. He's a terrific guy and makes some beautiful work. So you ever go down to Sandbags?
No, I haven't been.
No, Sandbags, a sandwich place over there in Westwood. I think it's still there.
Are you sure?
Get a Thanksgiving
Are you sure it's
sandwich.
not a boba tea place?
Oh, it might be. It might be a noodle
or a frozen yogurt.
It could have gone. But they used to give you a free cookie in there. Speaking of cookie, Didi Reese.
Didi Reese, all the time. But you know, like they're not $1 anymore.
No, I was there for that transition.
Yeah, it's upwards of $2 now.
Come on,
it's too much.
The ice cream sandwich is still okay, but come on.
Yeah,
I don't care for that. You ever go to the Magic Castle?
I have been to the Magic Castle.
I was just there this week.
Times. Oh, really?
Yeah, just earlier Tuesday.
I'm sure
night.
you can just walk in. Like I feel like you have like a
I know people.
Or something.
I know people, but it's a pretty wild kind of a situation there.
Super wild.
Smells a little bit like old burgers and soup, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it smells like. I mean, I've never been in the 50s or whatever.
But that's what you imagine the 50s.
Yeah, it smells like a black and white movie.
It does.
Yeah,
that's well said. So, how do you get from UCLA to working with people like Childish Gambino and Usher and Diplo and the like?
That's a really good question because I don't even know.
But you put something out there.
Yeah.
You put some kind of content out there.
Yeah. I started out just writing on my own, and then I kind of got in the scene, started meeting people online, like different producers and writers, and also like doing background vocals on different projects, and that's kind of how I ran into Childish Gambino. And then
what's the first thing that you do though? How do you connect to the? You get management or something that connects you?
No. I mean, a lot of people think like management is like the first step. Like, okay, I can do something. Someone manage me, but you can't really manage. You have to have something to manage.
You got to prove yourself.
So the first step was really just collaborating with as many people as possible.
So friends, whoever who were doing projects.
As soon as you know one writer or one producer, you can know 100. So that's really what it was about for me. And then also being self-sufficient. Like I was a lot of times just recording demos in my house, and I could work with people internationally. Like I had a writing partner in Miami, that I was writing with, and we ended up co-writing a song for Fat Joe and Chris Brown. So all of that was really what helped me to. It was just hundreds and hundreds.
It's a pretty big songs. Pretty big leap, though.
Yeah. And so, through all of that, I ended up meeting Hassan, who's the producer on my last project, Simple Things, which released, and also on the new project. And we had like just amazing chemistry, and like it's a really dope process. So, and that's how we came up, with the current. This is like the Jarell Perry and the sound,
Right.
So yeah, that's basically it.
And you feel like you found it. You found it for now.
I found it for now, but it's like, what is it? It's like constantly changing, constantly moving. So we're definitely, on the right path.
Yeah.
The Simple Things project was definitely more of a journey, throughout, different influences and different stories to tell. And this new project, it's called the White EP.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely more of a destination. Like we kind of found a place where we want to rest and like soak in it. And you can play the project over and over and over again. And I'm really excited like for people to hear it.
Yeah, and when does you're not saying when it comes out, but soon?
Yeah, very soon. Looking at January right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's coming up.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, now this is a little silly, but I thought we'd do this anyhow because you seem like you'd be up for it because people know that I know so much about producers and all the great artists that are out there. And especially when it comes to R&B music, any of that stuff.
Right.
I'm your guy. That's why people listen to this show. But sometimes I look at the names and it's just a jumble of letters and numbers. So I thought that I'd give you a name of a person that you've worked with. And I'd also give you a word that I made up. And you just say if it's real or if it's not, just say no. Okay, so I'll read a name, somebody you worked with.
Okay.
And you tell me if that person actually exists or if I just made this name up.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Cormega.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, Cormega.
Boy Wonder.
Yes.
Sneaker Trolley.
No.
Pipswaddle.
No, but I like that name.
Cadence Weapon.
Yes.
33 RPMs.
No.
CD Cleaning Kit.
No.
Oh, you passed. You know your life pretty well.
We were getting a little bit nervous there, but yeah, the way you were saying them, you're trying to throw me off a little bit there.
Yeah, I was trying to just see what would happen.
Yeah.
But now, whiskey, that's your drink of choice?
I love whiskey.
What's the brand? Any of it? All of it? Bourbon, Scotch?
I really like bourbon. Like right now I had just have my go-to like Bullet bourbon, but then
that's a fine one.
I'm also into like the Macallan Scotch. Yeah.
See, I knew we'd get along. And then I've sampled hundreds. Yeah. Almost all of them.
Really, we should go get some.
Macallan 12. I'm telling you. I mean Macallan 18. Don't get me wrong. I'll happily, sure. And probably at your level, you're probably going up and up and up. You probably get 150-year-old.
Yeah.
But that 12 is just perfect for me all the time.
Yeah.
I've gone up and down the spectrum, smoky, not just space side, the other side, all sides in between. Macallan 12, just perfect.
That one's really, really smooth.
Really
and then
nice.
There's like this Japanese whiskey, Yamazaki. Someone just gave me a gift while I was here. I'm going to go home and try that.
Yeah. You'll let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's good. I once did a little tasting, and you can tell when a whiskey is from Asia. There's some quality in it that is a delicacy.
Yeah.
A lightness of being that comes through. Anyway, it would be nice to go drinking with you sometime, and I bet we will.
Yeah, we will.
I feel we're just in parallel paths here.
Yeah, go get your Santa suit. We'll get out there.
Oh, no.
Today.
So you said that the Simple Things, was the response has been great to that. Your debut EP. And Getaway, that's one of the songs that's on there. It's a heck of a song.
Thank you.
It's a really beautiful song. And it reminded me of a drive that I took after my wife left me. And just happy times now. But then, my goodness, if I had had that song, I'd still be pulled over, just sobbing.
Right.
Just
or
sobbing.
just, you might still be driving.
Exactly. But how'd that song come about? It's kind of a lame question, but
it's crazy. Like, I don't know, like I definitely, Hassan had made the track, and usually when I go in on a track, I just listen to it and then just start, humming my melodies and getting, just random words, random inspiration. But for some reason I had just watched the movie Drive.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling like in a certain kind of mood,
Right.
And I just thought about, and also, the relationship I was in at that time, I kind of felt like we needed an escape. And so all of that kind of came together, and lyrically, the song was born. A lot of times I just kind of get in the zone, and then when the song is done, I don't even know how it really happened. The best stories write themselves.
Yeah.
The best songs write themselves. So that was one of those.
The best podcasts write themselves.
Absolutely.
Well, you do okay with relationships.
Yeah. That's kind of a weird question. Doing okay. I'm not the best at relationships,
Because
but it makes for
a lot of that in the song.
Yeah, but it makes for good music. You know,
It
when
sure
you kind
does.
when you're kind of like a sucky, you know, relationship person.
It's usually you.
Because you have your ups and your downs, you know. But yeah.
You feel like it's mostly you, though. If things go wrong.
You know, man, it's always.
Some people may.
It depends on who you ask.
Right.
And it depends on the day of the week.
Well, there is a realness to your songwriting that I appreciate.
Yeah.
And it's a real commitment to transmitting a direct experience into song, and something that's not about maybe chasing a fantasy or chasing something that's a construct, but really human interaction.
Yeah.
And day-to-day struggles.
Yeah, and I just try to be as honest as possible because, you know, if I wanted to write songs for somebody else, you know, I could do that. But when it's coming from me, you know, it has to be 100% real. You know, or else I might as well not do it.
Right.
Right.
That's right. Well, and that's, I think, the challenge is to stay with that moment, stay in that moment.
Yeah.
And stay honest and true to yourself.
Yep. True to myself and that coffee.
I feel like we should burn some candles.
Yeah, right.
Well, what's your attraction to comedy? I noticed you slipped in a Spinal Tap reference into one of the songs.
Oh yeah,
Is that true?
yeah, 11, yeah.
Yeah, and you have some kind of job that's involved with that, or no, you don't?
No,
No,
not at all.
no.
No, I mean, so the song 11, you know, that kind of came from a lot of different places for me, but it all comes back to being like true to yourself, and being real. And I was like, a lot of people, they just want you to do too much, you know, or they want to portray something that's more than what they need to be, you know. So that's basically what that's all about.
All right. So you're not going on any comedy tours?
No. Not, well, you never know, you know.
You never know.
After the Chimes album.
That's the time to do it.
Yeah.
That's the time.
That's when they'll be on that comedy tour.
Well, we talked about the influence of the visual arts. Are there any other non-musical influences that you have?
Non-musical influences. Like I said just before, just like art, you know, and also, location is really important to me. Mm-hmm. So like, definitely like moving around and like even being here in the city and in New York, like I'm really excited to go back and write a lot like based on my experience here, like and you know, I've traveled to a lot of different places and I'm always like thinking about where I've been and what kind of headspace, you know, I was in, like so yeah, like I think that's really important.
Yeah, I do. You get a nice charge out of this too. Wherever you go, you get a little smart.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You ever been up to Reno?
No.
Oh, that's a weird place. You get a charge out of that.
It's not at the top of my list.
I've been a few places. Some places do have a kind of a quality to them, though, that does it leaves a little part of itself with you. New Orleans, I think, is that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe just that.
Just New
Portland, I feel like, has something. Chicago. I mean, probably places
Chicago
that have a great music
scene. One of my
scene
favorite
anyway.
cities. Like I said, New York. I've been to London, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Yeah. That has like definitely like this romance to it. I spent a little bit of time in Italy. Yeah, everywhere you go, you know, I'm all about like
not everywhere.
Everywhere but Reno.
I think there's maybe Kutztown, Pennsylvania. There's a few places that I would say, no, you don't get anything out of it. You've given more than they have. So for me, and of course, this is what I want to ask you. Do you have a place that you have to be in physically or not to write? Do you have like a setup that's the situation?
Not necessarily. Like I can pretty much write wherever I am, but there are places that are more conducive, right, to the process. So I kind of like small studios or like places where I kind of feel at home. Like actually in this basement, this hot ass basement down here.
So hot.
Very intimate. But it's but it still feels like home a little bit, right?
Yeah. I think you could focus pretty easily down here.
So yeah, places like that are really good for the writing process for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
For me, I have to be facing the Gowanus Canal, which is a little polluted stream that we have over here. I take a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I just have to look at it. Some whiskey doesn't hurt. So you got some plans for the holidays?
Just chilling, you know. After this experience with the snow and the Santas and all of that, I think I'm just gonna drive straight to the beach, like just to get that back, you know, because
spend a couple days there.
It's been rough. So yeah, I'll probably go to the beach. You know,
is there a Perry special meal?
And it sounds like a Christmas special. Like a Peanuts, you know. A Perry special Christmas special meal. My mom just makes like good soul food, and macaroni and cheese. Yeah, my favorite thing right now.
Right now?
Just right now.
It's not bad. I never have any problem with macaroni and cheese.
Who has a problem with mac and cheese?
Nobody should. And so January we'll look for the EP to come out. Any surprises? You just said it's more of a destination, a maturation of the sound.
Yeah, definitely. That's very beautifully put.
Thank you.
Can you say that again?
A maturation of the sound.
Yeah. Yeah. We might need to take that sound bite. Put you on the intro.
Yeah, for sure. We should do some collaborating.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's exactly what you said. And the White EP, it's about white spaces and kind of a blank page, really, and kind of like recreating yourself. And so, and just sonically, it's something that you can soak in. You kind of get dirty and then you get clean again, and you just want to do it all over.
You're speaking to me now.
Yeah. So in January.
Well, great. That sounds good. I'm gonna go out to for the holidays in anticipation of the EP dropping. I'll be out there and I'll spend some time in Pennsylvania. They're not in Kutztown, and then I'll be out to the great state of Ohio for some Buckeyes, and then I get to visit with a dog that has bad breath that likes to drop a wet tennis ball in front of me.
That sounds terrible.
I got a pretty full schedule. So, well, this is great. You're performing in LA anytime soon?
Yeah, we're actually we're planning a residency at the Bootleg Theater in LA.
That's terrific. When is that going?
It should be in February.
Okay, so also coming up. And
come out.
And you can get all the songs on your website.
Yeah, everything's on my website, jarellperry.com. JARELL, make sure you spell it. Yeah. And and also on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. Everywhere songs are sold. Sam Goodies.
That's right. I'll be the first in line. Right. When they put up the gates. Right. Yeah, I can get it on a cassette, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have the 8-track available.
Good, I'll play it in my car. Well, Jarell, this has been great. Yeah, and I really appreciate you making some time. And you gotta fly out. You gotta get to.
Yeah, we're getting on a plane.
Okay. All right. Well, I wish you safe travels and a very happy holiday. It's been a great experience getting to talk to you.
Yeah, you too, Dylan. Thanks a lot.
Especially at this stage. I think this is great because I see such good things happening for you. And I'm excited because I like talking to people at this moment. It's really great. Yeah. So thank you, Jarell.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's our time. Happy holidays to all. Till next time, I'll be busy composing an emotional ode to my empty whiskey bottle with plenty of chimes and falsetto. Now let's get back to that great music that we all enjoy. Dale Radio is written and produced by James Bewley. Original music by Steve O'Reilly. The intro theme to Season 6 is composed and performed by Katie Mullins. Season 6 podcast icon by Sunil Manchakanti. Posters and logo treatment for the live shows by Daniel Spencer Levine. Hey, why not rate and review us on iTunes, or you can listen to me on Stitcher Radio. Stream anytime. For the latest, follow me on Twitter @Dale Radio, or find us on Facebook. You're the best.